What's going on, y'all? Yeah, I apologize. When I try to do things, see, I tested something, right? I don't know why. Like, I guess I tested something and try to think I was gonna get a different result. For me, first of all, salute to everybody again. I apologize for the changing of the schedule or of when this stream was supposed to go on and stuff. But when I try to schedule my streams, it don't work out. That's why I just go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Like when I try to schedule, oh, I'm gonna go live at this time or that time, and this it just that doesn't work out for me on the internet. Nah, that's why you have me pushing our time back or whatever, whatever. My it's just that's just where we're at. Um, and even at this point right now, it was I almost forgot. I kept pushing my time back. It went from like 8 o'clock to then pushed it back a half hour, then another hour, then and here we are, super late. Nah, man, it ain't. And if it wasn't for uh the good doc, I was gonna be like, yo, I was gonna keep it going, like go the rest of the day and really forget that I'm supposed to stream right now. So it doesn't work when I schedule stuff like this. But in any case, we're one day closer to the next all time high for Hex, Pulse, Chain, Pulse, X, and all that great stuff, y'all. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. Come hook or crook. We're gonna get right to it. We're gonna get right to it. But there was something else I wanted to talk about. I can't do it now. I'm gonna have to do it in another stream. How people it's really gonna be about something that I've many of us have known. I've even talked about within the ecosystem, uh, and how it's being played out like in real time. And there's a certain ugly conversations, like real conversations, real not even conversations, but real occurrences that are taking place that because it was put out publicly, I'm gonna address it publicly. You know what I mean? Like what am I talking about, for example? Give you an idea of what I'm talking about and why I said this thing is in the game. First of all, salute to everybody in the chat, man. Apologize for the tardiness. Let me salute everybody in the chat, man. We got B Weezy from yesterday. Cookie the Chocolate to Dr. Moray, DJ and Dougie Bong Bong Hexander. What we doing? The Danny Moore, Johnny Chaos in the building, the Chaos Man, Hexander. Uh, he said, I've been officially indoctrinated. I'm not a hex streamer unless I go live late and change the date. Yes, my scheduling was a bit trash today. Quaz the kid, I see you. I see you. He said, yes, sir. Axel Pros, Tin Top. Tin Tops everywhere. We're never there. What's going on, Tin Top? DJ Bomber with the fire emojis. And we're and we're and we're cooked. Firefighter 82, good seeing you. He says we in good in post chain. Yo, that's a fact, right? I'm glad. I'm glad the sentiment is what it is right now. It's a lot different. That's dope. Um Dr. Moray, Mexican Lost in Asia, see you. Noonie in the building. Salute to you. So Mexican Lost in Asia. Noonie, I gotta make you all mods, yo, because all of y'all are regulars here, and you support my rhetoric. or listening, not my rhetoric, but listening. You all, the least I could do is make you all give you the wrenches as far as gratitude. And when Jay gratitude comes through, he should have a wrench too. All of y'all should have wrenches, man. Academaciated in the building. Academaciated. You said, what was it? I wanted to mention this to you. Last week, you you responded in a post by saying nobody cares. Hold on to the RH core. I thought that was fire. I was like, see, I reposted that joke. Yeah, he said nobody cares. Jason Smith, another regular. Support one another, and I appreciate the support y'all give me coming through here. Well, what I was gonna stream about that, I'm gonna do it next time I go live again. I'm gonna set myself up properly. But this is what I'm gonna talk about in my next stream because I can't do it now, right? About some of the issues that I've noticed and I know we've known about and have seen in the ecosystem. And one of the issues is this. You know how people they come out of nowhere and they build their popularity off the community, and shortly, very shortly after that, soon after they build their popularity, they come through and start jumping on a few influencers channels, and they get introduced to the community, and the community welcomes them with open arms. And then no less, I mean, very soon after that, all of a sudden, ta-da, they introduce a project that they're launching, right? We've seen that, like, I mean, it's just too numerous to mention, right? The issue is, and it's always been for me, it's not about not wanting people to create new things and bring new technology and advancement and add to the fold and develop and bring innovation. That's not it. I've heard that innovation talk since back in the heydays with proof of weak hands, master nodes, hourglass contracts, different chains doing different things, ROI contracts, practicing different whatever philosophy, Pareto principle stuff, blah blah blah. All these zero sum games that we've been hearing about for a long time. And if we couldn't stop, or not we, but people couldn't stop folks from creating and developing then, you sure can't do it now because technology advances over time, right? My issue with all that was stop scamming the people, stop rugging people, stop creating things that's just gonna turn out to be nothing but an exit scam or rug pulls. That's been my whole thing. As far as being resistant or apprehensive towards supporting new things coming out, because historically we've seen most of everything has been worthless. It's been an utter waste of time and waste of money. And there are no refunds. And so a lot of people, they dismiss that. Like a lot of people, meaning the people who want to build, the people who want to be leaders, the people who want to, launch after launch after launch, they dismiss that aspect of why some people are resistant to that. Because when you create this situations where you're launching coins, you're launching project, you're launching contracts, you're launching X, Y, and Z, creating opportunity for people who can't afford to, but to ape in to the new projects, creating opportunity to be described as exit liquidity, meaning the new people or the people who are buying said promises. The people who are buying said promises now become the virtual heads that the founders dump on, or the founders' friends dump on, in order to avoid being placed in those positions. Why support those things at all? Allow those things to prove their salt over time. Like everything else that has proven to be, I guess, somewhat trustworthy as far as code. Everything had to prove itself. From the Genesis block of BTC, January 3rd, 2009 to now. Everything that's supposed to be blue chip, right? Whatever, that have the most branding, the strongest network effects, they had to all prove themselves over time. And folks dismiss that. They just think that people are just not willing to support for the sake of just hating. It's not about being unwilling to support for the sake of just hating. It's about you not gonna respect my money and my time and energy more than I will, because you're not listening to the valid talking points. And that's just one that I'm telling you. Like, create whatever you want to create. Just don't rug the people. Don't create garbage. Don't create garbage. For what? And when it's garbage and you upset that you're told it's garbage, there's a problem with you. That's where the problem lies, with the person, not the supporter, not the investor. It's with you. And then you want to issue smoke screens and weird campaigns to go against folks who are speaking truth. You're going against the same people you need support from. And then when we have somebody like RH who just grabbed the bull by the horns and decided, no, he's going to, and he didn't even have to, he's going to be in a position, put himself in a position where he's going to expose the good and the bad that occurs in this space. You may not like the methods. I may not be crazy about the methods every now and then, but I can't detract or take away from the message, from the work that he's done. You have people, and I'm gonna give you an example on my next stream of what I'm talking about, because I'm gonna give you a thorough breakdown of what we talking. I'm gonna break this down for real, like, and it's gonna go by a certain clip that I found, a clip from a stream that I found from another camp of individuals who are basically birthed from Pulse Chain, who have since decided to do their own thing on a different chain, and are now being met with certain problems, certain challenges that folks who have shared, who have shared not even legitimate concerns on why people who want to launch things for the sake of launching are not trusted. You could just say, yeah, I don't want, I'm not going to support these new people coming in and trying to launch after launch after launch, because they're just extracting value. Someone could just say that by itself, right? You diluting, and it's all real. Your focus, your money, your energy, your coin, your power, everything is just being distracted, spread into a whole bunch of different directions, diluting whatever it is that we trying to hold on to, that we want to see pump to oblivion, because you're introducing promise after promise after promise. Now, come to find out, the same group of people that want to buy into some type of new philosophy. Hold on 1 second, go ahead, everybody. I'm in motion, guys, so I can't really talk the way I want to talk. Now it's windy. So the same people that talk all that talk about, oh, the maxis are toxic, and they don't want to see innovation, the narrow-minded, brainwashed, blah blah blah. And people are judging RH for what he's done, how he did it. And then when a person like myself says, oh, they think that they can possibly do something better than Richard, they probably think they are more knowledgeable, smarter than Richard. They take that as an offense and their retort back would be, oh, you a broke pleb. Okay. But it's interesting now, they're facing the same issues within their own operations by way of, what do I mean by that? Like, you leave Pulse Chain, you go create your own camp. And within your camp, maybe for the first few weeks, you're doing well, you're excited, you're making money, your people buying into your dream is making money. So everybody is kumbaya. And let time go by. Everything changes all of a sudden. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's because some people want to introduce something, because it's always like that. When you have something good going, some people just don't know how to appreciate it, and they want to disturb whatever it is that you got going on that's working and introduce something new, and it throws the energy off. It never fails in crypto, right? So the energy gets thrown off, and all of a sudden you have what? You have conflict, you have dissension, and now you have people within the community wanting to separate from the core. Now you have some serious infighting going on, which is not unusual in crypto. It's what we've seen. It's what you've been a part of, even in Hex and Pulse Chain and PulseX. But you thought you had a better idea than the founder. You thought you knew how to solve certain problems. You thought you could figure everything out, and you had it all figured out until life presented a set of issues and challenges to show you that you have no clue. You are not ready for the serious smoke that you're facing right now. That other founders before him, that Richard had to face. That previous founders who created long-standing projects within the industry had to face and overcome. So now they're forced to look at themselves in the mirror. Wow. Everyone who bought in to the new project, to the new promise, to the new dream has to suffer. But I thought you figured it out. You left Richard Hart, you left the system, splintered off, did something new. This is par for the course. We've seen it. But when people don't respect history and they think they could reinvent something or create something else better, they end up falling on their face, flat on their face. And who pays for it? Not just them, but the investors. And in a time like now, when you're watching on a macro level, all the good stuff that's going on in the industry, where even politicians, and we have a newly president-elect who's crypto friendly, and everything taking place, ETFs up to ETF, everything going on. Bitcoin broke 100K again, everything going on. You're not gonna feel good chasing somebody else's dream when you were fine where you were at the whole time. You chase someone else's dream, thinking that they had your best interest. And guess what? Maybe they did. Because I don't want to believe a lot of people, most people in the world are bad. Maybe they did. Maybe they did have good intentions. Maybe they did want to do something. But guess what? They fell short. And thankfully, we're not in the beginning stages in the sense where this is not a 1 year, 2, 3 year old industry. We're 16 years in the game. That's why I said in the beginning of this year, RH figured a lot of this out. He figured it out. So instead of me having to go to more painstaking woes in crypto and losses and X, Y, and Z, I'm going to stick with who figured it out. Not someone else who's basically an RH student, Little Richard, bunch of Little Richards, mini Richards, thinking that they figured it out better. Nah, for what? For what? You know, I told y'all last week, excuse me, that I had last week maybe that or a week, 2 weeks ago, one of my onboards complained about a project they got in, and I don't even like describing them as an onboard because it makes me feel like I'm in some kind of network marketing scheme. On board, I already have children. I feel like I have I'm parentified. Oh, crypto daddy, wonder, could you help me with this problem? I feel funny. Like, no, don't help me. No one helped me. I came in on my own. No one onboarded me. I found the research. I found the information and I did the research. God onboarded me. Like, get your stuff together. So I don't like talking about, I'm not gonna, but you know what I mean. The person who I shared the information with crying to me about making serious mistakes instead of sticking it out, which is not easy because crypto's not for everybody. Instead of sticking out to what RH did and has created, it went elsewhere because they saw someone who was supporting RH now is very angry towards RH, created another situation somewhere else, and they just took a gamble. And the gamble is not paying off like that. The gamble was euphoric for maybe 2 months out of 13 months. So we're gonna break it down. Like we're gonna break it down because this is an example. I'm gonna break it down more in my next stream. But this is an example of what I'm talking about when people suffer from too much hubris. They're too prideful. They're too egotistical. And when they're faced with the same challenges that RH has faced, right? They have to now tuck their tail, put their heads down, right? Right? Remain in a state of shame, and then really think and evaluate themselves and reflect. If they're really good people, that's what they would do. But you know, you don't see that in crypto where folks apologize. They pretend to be transparent, but they're not. But if you pay attention, like myself, and you pay attention even more, you see the foolishness before it even occurs. You see what can happen before it even occurs. Why? Because you've been around. No one had to tell you anything. You did the research. You played the game. You were in the game. You have been in the game. You suffered some wins. You suffered some losses. You earned some wins. Earned it. You know? And when you're hearing these people, these talking heads that don't like Richard, but pretend they like Richard, who launch their own projects and think they could do something that's better than Richard, and then what they produce shows you that it's just been an infinite Ponzi-nomic type situation, that they can't plug the hole and really create something that can sustain value over a long time without having to repeatedly launch after launch after launch, then you see that's when the rubber meets the road. That's when you see and you find who's who and what's going on out here. We're trying to make money, but all they're doing is being funny. They're being funny and disrespectful with our time, with our money, with our energy, with our everything that we lend them. This is the truth, people. This is the truth. I'm gonna break it down more because I can right now. I would play the clip and then we would break it down. You would see verbatim exactly what I'm talking about, line for line, word for word, whatever. And it's just a testament to tell you like there's people that came from this community. They started. And there's nothing wrong with starting from where you are and then you move on to elsewhere, right, in life. But at least you're doing great things. You're trying and you're doing great things. And when you meet challenges and pitfalls and you stumble, it's opportunity for you to be greater, for you to learn. But at the same time, stop doubling, tripling back and pretending like you're not making a mistake and you blaming it on other factors when you're displaying something that was already done in crypto 1,000 times before you. You have people who pretend to be founders. They're not founders. They didn't they didn't program nothing that they're shilling you. To me, the developers are the real founders in this game. They're the backbone. They're the lifeblood in this whole system. The founder, the marketer, the promoter, the shiller, the talking head has their role, but that's all they can do is talk. You know how many times people have launched projects and after the hype phase, however long the hype phase lasts, a week, sometimes less than a week, sometimes as long as 6 months, when that subsides, when that goes away, why do you think, why do you think they end up launching something else? Why do you think people lose interest and become discouraged and angry? Why do you think that they rebrand or they disappear, right? Or come back, whether they scam or not scam, and issue something else new to get you to be more excited again so that you could spend more money on their garbage. Why do you think that happens? It's because they didn't figure it out. They didn't figure it out. They didn't figure it out well enough. What they figured out was how to keep themselves enriched off of our dime. All they have to do is launch something, create the hype, and they get paid. That's it. We've seen thousands of contracts launched that way, thousands of coins, thousands of projects. No exaggeration. No exaggeration. If you can't keep people interested in buying whatever it is that you're selling, then what's the point? I don't care if you've been making good money for the first year. What happened to the rest of if something's been out 5 years, 10 years, whatever, and you've been making so much money in the beginning, right? The beginning, oh yeah, this is so solid. But what happened to the rest of the time period? Folks lose interest. Folks lose interest. If you can't keep the people interested, it's a wash. If you can't keep people, if you can't give people some type of incentive, everyone, not everyone, but so many people should suffer for short attention span in this thing right here, man. As quick as it expands and moves and grows and advances over time, is as quick as we lose interest in whatever it is we got going on. Let something go down for me. You saw what happened within the last 3 years with Hex. You saw how many people just jumped ship and sold, which is their right. That's what you're gonna have in markets, buying, selling, etc., etc. But some people are gonna believe more than others. And by believing more in others, they're going to fare and succeed better than others. All this time, a lot of people just left the community, went to another team, joined another team, and might still, not like they completely left, but they joined the Riddler. You joined the Riddler, for example. And what did the Riddler show you? You keep hearing things about some fair launch, buy and burn. It's called fair struggle. That's all. It's just a fair struggle. It's in the game because you're struggling. It's just the truth. You understand? And people believed, like, you know, I can't, I can't make this up, man. I can't make this up, man. It's to the point where sometimes, it's like I'm tired of saying things that come out that come to pass, like in a way of, it's not that I'm right all the time. I know I'm wrong on many different aspects, but with the fundamental things about crypto and how to keep yourself in a position where you want to fare well, you follow what the successful people have done. That's all. How can you go wrong, following someone who's been successful and doing exactly what they've done? How could you go wrong? How could you go wrong? Show me your friends. I'll show you who you are. You remain among successful people. What's that going to inspire you to do? How will you feel waking up every day if you're around nothing but success? And the obverse is true. You're around a bunch of bum ass derelicts, aimless hoodlums, and abject individuals who just have nothing going on for themselves. What's the prospect of you being, victorious in life, accomplishing great things? What's the likelihood? But what they've done here to trick us, they try to trick us. But what they do to trick people, they speak It's the way they speak. They go to the crypto dictionary and adopt terminology and words, put them together, and spit these same terms to a no corner. They'll spin the heads of these no corners in such a way where the no corner will feel, if they're not careful and if they're not strong within themselves, they'll feel vulnerable and weak and may want to extend some type of trust to whoever's talking that bullshit to them, because they might feel that that person has the answers and they don't. That they might feel that person has the answers to a problem that they didn't know they had. So in order to support the person who's talking that bullshit with the crypto terminology from a dictionary from YouTube, in order to support, because they have to try to, feel better because they were made to feel bad, they're gonna spend money. They're gonna be like, oh no, this crypto person knows what they're talking about. They're launching a new coin. They're launching this project. They understand X, Y, and Z, and they want to help me not be poor. And how's that historically? How's that work for everybody in the crypto industry? How's that work? How's that work for the investor? How's that work for the no corner? How's that work for the noob? How's that work for the pleb? You're made to feel less than. You're made to feel subservient. You're made to feel like you're wrecked. Meanwhile, all they did was open the crypto dictionary and was spitting all kinds of words at you to make you feel like you're inadequate because your self-image and self-worth is poor. These motherfuckers fuck with your mind, they fuck with your head on purpose. And they do it in the most weirdest, inopportune time, whenever whenever it suits their needs. It's not even about a time. Some of them would think that they have something, scientific going on with numerology to present. They don't even live in a certain state. Understand what I'm saying, folks? You don't even have to talk about it. You just represent it and live it. I don't have to tell you I'm into numerology for you to know that I live a certain way. I'm not trying to impress you with some mystical talk, introduce something of the occult into what we're doing here. We're trying to make bread and keeping things as simple as possible. Just connected for the child, connected for the kids, man. Because at this point, I'm not even talking for the adults. I'm talking about the kids because they represent the future. Present these situations and opportunities and chances for people to uproot themselves out of some type of financial turmoil and hardship by showing them what this whole thing means and how it works. Crypto, how it works. DeFi, how it works, how you could benefit, how you can make the impossible literally become possible. We're talking about a coin that went 100 million X from a penny. 100 million X from a penny. That thing was worth less than a penny at some point in its lifespan. So there's nothing you could tell me as far as monetary that can't be made possible. But you want to listen to talking heads who think they know more, who pretend like they have our best interests in mind. We're gonna get into it in the next thing, man. The next thing, we're gonna break the shit down as it should, and I'm gonna leave it where it's at. I'm just gonna leave it where it's at and keep it moving. And that's how that goes. And that's how that goes, folks. For some people, these moments are the holidays. It's funny how a year ago the Riddler team was celebrating, and a year later it's the exact opposite. It's stressful. Why? Why did it have to be stressful? Of why? Imagine you expend all your energy somewhere else where you could have just stayed put where you were at, thinking that the grass is literally greener on the other side. And that's how we make serious mistakes sometimes that we can't recover from. You know how much crypto I've lost? You don't know. But in my experience, I've lost so much crypto it's not even funny. Because I thought the grass was greener in so many other places. And all I had to do was just chill. Because the grass was the most green on my side. That's it. That's it. That's real. Each cycle that goes by, each cycle that goes by, and if you're in crypto, you should actually be more successful as time goes by as long as you're in crypto. But each and every cycle that goes by, your monetary worth, in my opinion, should increase, not decrease. If you find that your experience, you've been through multiple cycles and things haven't changed for you for the better, you need to go back to the drawing board and reconsider, reevaluate what you're doing. Because each moment, each cycle is an opportunity for you to level up. And I'm talking about the bull and the bear markets. It's opportunity for you to level up. And depending on your perspective, the bull, you winning, and the bear, you winning by accumulating what helped you win during the bull. So it's a win-win. You know, that's why that's how it just should be. You talk about onward progression, evolution, and progress. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about, not fake schemes and lies and grifts and strategies for people to create to steal, because that's always going to be there. We're not talking about that. We're talking about acknowledging the position that we're in right now and how we can just be better over time. Use the crypto to help you become more prosperous over time, not destitute, but prosperous. For some people, it's the holiday season, man. It's not easy for a lot of people during the holidays, man. So imagine you were chilling with your crypto bag, chilling on Pulse Chain, doing you, and then somebody comes and tells you, "Nah, leave Pulse Chain, sell all you got, come to what I got going on this other chain here," and then it doesn't pan out for you. How would you feel? That's all I'm saying, man. We're gonna break this down on the next one, though. We're gonna break this down. Good people, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Salute to everybody. Peace.